Welcome to How to Use Scientific Notation. So this will review positive exponents, negative exponents, addition and subtraction with exponents, and multiplication and division with exponents. So first let's look at positive exponents. We can express a number such as 1234.56 in scientific notation. The number here, 1234.56, can also be expressed as 1234.56 times 10 to the 0. Well, moving the decimal can change the number of exponents times 10 to the 10th. So if we move the decimal back to the left one spot, that leaves us 123.456, which means that now the exponent increases by 1 and is times 10 to the first. If you move the decimal back to the left one more spot, now we go from 123.456 times 10 to the first to 12.3456 times 10 to the second. We've now moved the decimal a total of 2 spots, from in between the 4 and the 5 to in between the 2 and the 3, and so we have times 10 to the second. We could also move that decimal a third time in between the 1 and the 2, which leaves us 1.23456 times 10 to the third, which is equal to 1234.56. We've just moved the decimal back to the left 3 spots to leave us with 1.23456, which means that we have times 10. Since we moved it 3 times, it's times 10 to the third. Each time the decimal place is moved 1 place to the left, the exponent is increased by 1. Well, now negative exponents, we can look at a number such as 0.00657 and express that in scientific notation. Once again, we could also express this as 0.00657 times 10 to the 0. Now if we move the decimal forward to the right, we now make a smaller number, which is 0.0657, and it's times 10 to the minus 1. Okay? As we move to the right, we now have negative exponents. If we move the decimal one more place forward to the right, our exponents are going to we're going to decrease by 1 to negative 2. Finally, we can do this a third time, and we get 0.657 times 10 to the minus second. Moving that decimal forward one more spot will leave us with 6.57 times 10 to the minus 3. So each time the decimal place is moved one place to the right, the exponent is decreased by 1. Now we can take a look at addition and subtraction using numbers that are expressed in scientific notation. Anytime you're using addition or subtraction between these numbers, the first thing you need to do is make sure the exponents are equal. So in this example, we have 3.4 times 10 to the second plus 4.57 times 10 to the third. We notice the exponents are different. The first number is times 10 to the second, and the second number is times 10 to the third. Now we want to make those equal. You could make them both times 10 to the third, or you can make them both times 10 to the second by moving the decimal in one of the numbers or the other. So here we took the number 3.4 times 10 to the second and wanted to express it as times 10 to the third, which means as we move the decimal back to the left one spot, we now increase the exponent from 2 to 3. So we have 0.34 times 10 to the third plus 4.57 times 10 to the third. The exponents are now equal. Because of that, now we can just add the two numbers, 0.34 and 4.57 together. That gives us 4.91. Well, the times 10 to the third is the same. That carries down, and we're left with 4.91 times 10 to the third. Multiplication and division are just slightly different. So here, when you're multiplying two numbers that are written in scientific notation, we just multiply the numbers first, and then we can add the exponents. Here we have 2.00 times 10 to the third, or 4.00 times 10 to the fourth, and we're multiplying these two numbers together. In multiplication, we just take the 2.00 times the 4.00, multiply those together, and we find that's equal to 8.00. Now we just look at the exponents, 10 to the third and 10 to the fourth, and we're going to add those exponents together. So 3 plus 4 is 7, and so we get times 10 to the 7th. The final answer here is 8.00 times 10 to the 7th. For division, once again, if we have two numbers in scientific notation and we're dividing these, we only need to divide the numbers in front, and then the exponents are going to be subtracted. Here we have 9.60 times 10 to the 7th, and we're dividing by 1.60 times 10 to the 4th. For the division, we just take 9.60 and divide by 1.60, which is equal to 6.00. The exponents, 10 to the 7th and 10 to the 4th, are now subtracted from one another. So 7 minus 4 is 3, so we're left with 10 to the 3rd. 6.00 times 10 to the 3. That finishes how to work with scientific notation.